Rachel Corrie, whose parents are with us tonight, Cindy and Craig. And me and my friend Will here were both with her in Gaza when she was killed. Shortly after she was killed, I wrote this piece inspired by that. It's really my first real full hip-hop piece that I wrote and produced and released and all that. I met Rachel through the Procession of the Species, which is the space that we're in tonight. Everybody give it up for Procession for us. Beautiful space. I've never done a show surrounded by so much inspiring art. It's really incredible. So, but yeah, she'd organize people to dress as doves. See some of the masks here that, or the hats that people have made. And she recruited me because she knew I had experience making backpack frame puppets and other large structures, and that's how we met. She recruited me to do that, and I helped her lead some workshops, and that first year she had over 40 people march in the Procession of Species as doves to protest the war in Afghanistan or war in general or whatever. But it was very indicative of her kind of project, you know, a lot of creativity and powerful initiative, recruiting people. So I felt really privileged to be involved in that project, and then when she showed up in Rafah with Will, it was incredible to work with her. So that the whole experience inspired the title of the song as a Dove's last song. We'll never see her legacy die. No, we'll never see her legacy die. So let me tell you the story of a gory glory, one grand last stand in the land of holy. Rachel gave her life defending native rights, and we will never see her legacy die. When the planes hit the towers on 9/11, she knew that her personal war had begun. She sought to stop terror where it may be, and her eyes turned towards Washington, D.C. and to Israel. And the IDF, exhaling death with each breath till there's nothing left. They kill, catch, and cripple women, children, and men, whose only crime is that they're Palestinians. See, Rachel learned about Rafah, the forgotten town, with ISM the only internationals around. The world's fourth strongest power hides a rise from it all, while they create a prison state with guard towers and walls. It's the most impoverished place in all of Palestine. It's the site where the most folks fight and die. It's one of the poorest and most deadly cities in the world. No tourist trap for ordinary college girls. She thought her Western white privilege could do some good, so she oldered in her neighborhood. So she sought to set up a relationship, an only sister city project in the Gaza Strip. So at the tip of January, she said her goodbyes and hit the skies, for the land of scary dies and cries. And when her plane hit the ground, the word got around that Raja, the blonde American, was in town. She found a fondness for the people, they cherished her so, a white flower in the desert, budding peace and hope. The children were her favorite, and she tried to play a game of football on the pavement almost every day. When she wasn't off protecting workers, fixing wells, or networking and connecting NGOs, I could tell her initiative and organizing skills were ample. She's the best kind of leader. She led by example. I'll never forget her dedication and commitment to solidarity and the spirit of resistance. It was this firm stance that opened the door to her final dance, opposing hatred and war. Her final dance that rocked me to my core. On the 16th of March, we marched to the field to lessen demolition with our bodies as shields. We took on Goliath, but instead of stones, we had fluorescent orange jackets and a megaphone. Our known passports projected and our pale white skin. We thought we were protected from racist violence, but Rachel was the first to prove that we were wrong. When she knelt in her pew to sing her final song. When she raised her voice and sang her final song. When she knelt in her pew to sing her final song. When she raised her voice and sang her final song, protecting the home of Dr. Samir, the family of whom she'd grown to hold dear. She couldn't let the dozer crush their hopes and dreams, so she pleaded with the soldier, go home please, disobey your commander and just leave the people be. For if you remain here, you're gonna have to deal with me. I plead, my words you'll heed, and I won't concede till you recede. I won't leave till this family is freed, and I won't concede till you recede. She didn't cede, but neither did he. As the dozer came closer, she climbed the mound and met the soldier at his shoulders for her final showdown. Too terrified to join her, I raised my lens, and now there's few famous photos document the event. She centered into his eyes, but he continued to drive, pushed her down into the ground till she was drowned out of sight. We found the favorite of our band, wholly crushed by Holy Land. wholly crushed by Holy Land, and I can still see her hand sticking out of the sand. I still reach for her hand extending out of the sand. And the man had seen her there pleading, but he didn't see a human being, a life to be valued with true compassion and feeling. She was concealing terrorists in his twisted mind frame, but somehow he missed he was doing the same. He's gotta do what he's told and turn his heart hard and cold. He's been required to kill since 18 years old. He chose a victim of aggression from religion and war. No excuse for his aggression, but a reason for his duty was to drive a diesel death machine with the treads of terror and the blade of pain, made in USA. But with the taxes we pay, our corporation's occupation makes the toys for their play. It was a caterpillar killer that killed her, that made the caterpillar killer. Yeah. It was a caterpillar killer that killed her. They made the caterpillar killer. It was a caterpillar killer that killed her. We made the caterpillar that killed her. As her song was censored and her dance denied, we waved and raved, she's underneath, we cried. But he threw it in reverse and cursed her again, dragging the blade over serrated skin. Torn inside and horrified, we rushed to her side and tried to keep her alive till more help could arrive, and the EMTs were an all too experienced crew. Rushed her to the hospital, but what the hell could they do? Her spine was snapped and her chest was smashed. Her skull was cracked and her lungs had collapsed, far surpassed what the understocked doctors could fix. They said Allah Yarhamha at 6:20. Wheeled her out a white sheet shading her head. It's over, my comrade Mohammed said. I couldn't believe it and I cried to his chest. I still can't conceive her soul is really at rest. No, I still can't conceive her soul is really at rest. But we had services and ceremonies, demonstrations. We did hundreds of interviews and presentations. The world was aware of the vicious attack, just as Bush and Blair began bombing Iraq, but no distraction. The world rose up and took action. And at anti-war demos, we honor her memory. Inspired by her fire, now forever burning in me. Yeah, Rachel's dedication made the nations fight war, and more have come to Rafah than have ever before. And ISM recruits have gone through the roof, as so many pro-freedom and pro-peace groups. So we see troops of doves in a yearly Holy Street procession. And a Rachel Corrie Memorial Center for Children, and Rachel's vision of the sister city's been realized. Olympia and Rafah will forever be tied. All her holy family will keep it alive, and we will never see her legacy. He died. No matter how hard they try, they may have crushed her body and crushed her bones, but they'll never crush her spirit that lives on and on. Yeah, on and on, from dawn to dawn, a crescendoing, never-ending freedom song. Now every time I lock down or block town in the street, every time I write a media or theater piece, every time I build a puppet or deliver a speech, every time my mind's a Palestine and all the shaheed, every time a freedom fighter dies for a cause, or we ride with rules inside and don't abide by their laws, every time we push our limits and make cultural ties, every time we use our privilege to assist the denied, every time we take a stand for another man's strife, we honor Rachel Corrie and continue her life. Yeah, we will never see her legacy die. No, 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 no. Her life is documented in verses and prose. We read the details in her emails to her folks and her bros. And from her journal we can learn all of her thoughts and ideas. We can study testimony of her family and peers. Like we hear she was a healer who worked in mental health. An oldie girl in greener who loved to teach herself. She was an artist, writer, painter, a creator of beauty. We know she was a healer who heeded her duty. Yeah, a maker of peace who didn't cease till the end. She was a daughter, a sister, a neighbor, and a friend. She was a martyr, a true shahida. She had died for freedom, Hurriya. For she had come to Rafah to stop the tanks that were built, bought, and brought by her brothers, the Yanks. And though they're stronger than ever, they won't be forever. Extend your hand to Rachel's and we'll stand up together. Yeah, we'll never see her legacy die. No, 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 because true solidarity is such a rarity. And she shared it with me with such clarity. Graffiti, writing in Rafah reads her glory. Rachel Corrie, an American citizen with Palestinian blood. 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 Thank you all so much.